Makes sense.
So content categories, actionable, here you show people how, narrative, you tell a story, theoretical, you teach people why, and then attractor, you share the results. So here's a few different content categories that you can.
Do you do all of these, you pick one for a while, or how do you decide what to do?
I think, listen, the more, share results, attractor, like maybe when you're first starting out, maybe this isn't as applicable to you. Once again, maybe even narrative, tell a story. Maybe that's not as applicable to you when you're first starting out because less people are interested in your story, or you want to interweave your story into more actionable and theoretical content. Okay, so it just depends on what it is that you are building your personal brand for. And once you get intentional about it, then you can decide which categories make the most sense for you.
Makes sense.
So content ideation, very important. Do not copy people from within your niche. Look at people outside of your niche. Now, honest truth is there's no original ideas anymore. There's no original ideas. There's no original thumbnails. Everything.
There never was.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is like even with me, sometimes I look back at ads from the 50s and 60s, like newspaper ads just for headlines, right? So is that me? Like it would be bad if you only look within your niche. And to be honest, I think my personal brand really started to become interesting when I allowed myself to have hobbies. Funnily enough, like once I allowed myself to have hobbies, like for example, like film photography. I got really into film photography in 2019, 2020, and I was able to tie that into my brand. Or I kind of 2019, 2020, once again, same thing with fashion. I really started to, enjoy fashion and dressing in a certain way and letting myself, basically once I had hobbies in my life, my personal brand became more magnetic. So whatever it is that you're doing, you might think it's so mundane, you might think it's so boring. But I give the example of, let's say you're making videos, whatever kind of videos. And let's say you love coffee. Okay, so a minute into every video, you just say, this is the type of coffee I'm drinking today. It's from this place in the world. This is what's unique about it. And it's 20 seconds. And let's say you're making videos about something so mundane like Zapier integrations. Just because you're making automations videos doesn't mean that you can't tie in your personality. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's why it's actually so interesting to have hobbies and interests outside of whatever it is that you are talking about with your personal brand, and you can bring those all back and tie it in. So that's why you want to look at people outside your niche. Definitely study, extract knowledge from what is already out there, what's working, consider the niche, the problem, the solution. For example, let's say you are, the niche is reading, how to memorize what you read and how to read 3 times faster. You can then go out and look at what's working, what's not working. And there's a free tool called vidIQ. You can see right here, 8.9x. What this does, it will show you outliers.